Welcome into the Marvel Stuff Podcast, where, like we do every single week, we're here to talk about chips and what goes best with them. My buddy Josh just brought up.
I would argue that you only said chips because we just said
That's
fire up
exactly
chips.
right.
Like
I
the
actually
Central
have
Michigan Chippewas. Shout out to my alma.
chip. Well, I was gonna say something about fans and make a pun about I got a new fan. That's because I bought it for $19.99. But then you said chips, and I thought,
Yeah, well,
what? I'm not a big
Cooper
salsa
Rush
guy.
is undefeated in the NFL, so let's give him some props.
We talk about football too much for a podcast that no one cares
Oh,
about.
I can change your topic. Your boy got a Wolverine tattoo. If you guys are watching on streaming, it's pretty sick. It's I'll send it on the thing.
That's pretty good. That's pretty dope.
Really well done.
Take a picture.
I'll send it on the chat. But if you guys want to see it, oh yeah, I'm a big fan of it.
Nice.
Yeah, that's the stuff right there.
Love it. All right, let's jump into this. So we wanted to do another tier list. Our numbers have been back up. We've been having fun, and tier lists are probably a big reason why. So
weird that you guys love those. Which I've told Coach on many occasions they're actually some of my favorite episodes to make. So let's keep them running. They're great.
Keep them rolling.
If you catch us live, feel free to tune in. We've got you in the comments if you want to jump in and tell us your opinions.
Before we jump in, I did want to talk about the Oscars and the little bit of
the nominations,
the little bit of Marvelness. Nothing
Angela
too
Bassett
starting.
flexing on her supporting actress role, and I think she's got a pretty good shot because she's amazing in Wakanda Forever, like next level acting for sure.
She is amazing. Although I hear it's there's one other girl that's got a better shot, but I do like her. There's like actually odds for these things you can.
Yeah, I don't know about actual odds, but yeah, I mean, I think she's got a shot. I think you're right though. I think there's one other one that's got a better one.
I think it's fun when there's fun nominations out there.
Wakanda Forever did not get nominated for Best Picture. I'm not really surprised, but I know that they ran a whole campaign on podcasts, especially Brett Goldstein's podcast. One of the ads was just submitting Wakanda Forever for all categories, including Best Picture, but it did not get a nomination.
No, it did not.
Probably because of that stupid CGI boat fight.
Yeah, not a great scene, but I mean, Avatar got a nomination, which was interesting. It's not going to win.
Yes, it did.
But
no.
There was some interesting pop culture nods, but most of the Marvel stuff is what the Marvel stuff always is, which is to say, graphics this and sound design that and costume this and costume that. So, they'll probably win a few things. It's cool. I mean, we still don't quite get the love that I think we think they deserve. Although this year wasn't the year that I thought.
No, I mean, Wakanda Forever was very good, but I didn't feel moved. Some parts I was, but throughout the whole film, it didn't feel like an Oscar movie to me. Yeah, it felt like there were some Oscar performances, especially Angela Bassett, so I'm not surprised she got a nomination.
Yep, I thought that was cool. I thought it was cool for her. We never talked about the She-Hulk thing. That's not the Oscars, it's a TV thing, but the interesting part that got nominated for, it's graphics. Well, I guess not graphics. That's video. You keep saying that.
Visual effects.
But
yeah.
And then, though, we sort of shit
everyone
on them, so I thought that was interesting. But I guess we have to remember sometimes when it shows like She-Hulk and Moon Knight and stuff, they're being compared to other TV shows.
Right.
So maybe they're not Marvel movie quality, but compared to TV shows, they are very impressive.
Yeah, but if you put it up against Stranger Things effects or even later season Supernatural, I mean, She-Hulk didn't look all that great, but
especially not compared to The Last of Us on HBO. That show looks.
Ooh, have you watched it yet? The first two episodes?
Yeah, the first two episodes.
Oh, I finished the second episode today. It's so good. It's fantastic. You guys definitely got to go watch that show if you haven't started it already.
Yep, great show. Definitely watch it. If you guys want us to talk about it, just let us know.
We're doing other stuff. I'd be happy to do a season review or something at the end.
Yeah, absolutely. But for now, let's talk Marvel. Let's jump into this tier list. If you guys haven't quite, you sort of can tell from the title of this, but we want to talk about Marvel heroes, mostly heroes, that we would hang out with. I think that can mean whatever you want it to mean in your head when you fill out the tier list, but we chose heroes. They had to have been in the MCU, not all Marvel. So again, MCU specific, and had to have their name.
The titular hero.
Yes, the titular hero. So for things like Guardians, We just chose all the Guardians. Like we hang out with the Guardians as a group.
Yes.
Whereas other things were specific heroes. So there's a lot of them, but not too many. I don't think. I think we can get this done in one episode.
Oh yeah, we left off the Fox universe and we left off the Netflix Marvel TV shows. So in case you're wondering where those went, if you want, we can do that on a different episode. But this will be fun, just doing MCU stuff.
Yeah, the nice thing is eventually they're all going to be officially part of the MCU.
Oh, Sony as well. We left Sony out as well. To be clear,
we do have the new Spider-Man, but we did not include Venom.
Correct.
Even though because he does make like an appearance.
I know. But it's nonsense. It's all nonsense.
It's nonsense. All right, we only did one Spider-Man. We didn't do the other. It'll make sense. You're gonna love it. It's gonna be great. So let's just sort of go in order here. Let's start with Iron Man, the most famous of all the Avengers, well, now anyway. And he seems like I think there's an argument to be made. A lot of people would love to hang out with him. I'm curious how high you rated him.
I put him all the way in S tier. He was borderline A tier, but I put him in S tier. I mean, can you imagine hanging out with he's super sarcastic, super rich. I just feel like it'd be a great time to hang out with him. I mean, his mind is kind of firing at 1,000,000 miles a second, but I think that's okay. Where did you put him?
So that's part of the reason I put him in B. Number one, I couldn't keep up. Right? There's no conversation he would have. I don't think he's gonna talk about Marvel movies and football and things that are interesting to me. I think he would. He definitely seems like the kind of person who would be like, "Why am I wasting time talking to this peasant?"
That's true, but he doesn't get a choice though.
Right, but he still would be annoyed that he's.
Father Stark though. Once he had the kid, I mean, I think he softened a bit in his later years, especially Spider-Man as well.
That was the argument I had in my head when I was rating him. Because I thought, once he's got a kid, I can talk about his kid, my kid, his kid's cute, I worked at camp, all that kind of stuff.
I mean, the answer is, if you guys don't know about the tier list things, is if we're that different, we just split the difference on these ones. So we each have one override. We didn't explain the rules again because we did a tier episode recently. But if you don't know the rules, we each get one override where we get to push the other one around. And if it's between two tiers, we, split the difference.
So S and B means he goes into A anyway. But
correct.
I was giving myself the defense. I think you're probably right. The ending Tony Stark, the one we get an end game.
Not Tony.
Probably A S tier.
Not Iron Man 1 Iron Man. It would be too much. But he seems like a tool.
Most of the time he was in the MCU, I would have not loved hanging out with him, but I still put him in B tier because I think he's funny.
Right.
He's cool, all that stuff. We'll continue on to the next movie, The Incredible Hulk, Bruce Banner.
Oh, you're doing movie order. Okay.
There are two different versions of Bruce.
It doesn't matter.
But I did the Mark Ruffalo, the more definitive version.
Yeah, I'm with him. Which is funny because when he was a titular hero, it was Edward Norton. But
that is a good point. That is I did not. Well, too late now.
It's fine.
I put him in A tier. I think he's
really
a little more down to earth.
We're really far apart on this one.
Wow, really? I think he's a chill dude. I think he's cool. I think he's funny enough. He kind of reminds me of a smarter version of my brother Jordan. He kind of just hangs back, but he's sort of funny. He gets what's going on, but he's still a realist.
I put him in D for danger.
That's a good point.
He's he seems pretty well in control of his emotions and stuff.
I was
but
say,
based on history,
isn't really a danger. That's kind of what I was thinking.
The newest Hulk, yes, that is correct. So I guess if we're giving it the same rules as Tony Stark, like his last appearance, then I will be okay with moving him up. I don't think I'd go all the way to A tier though.
Well, right now we're A to D, so we got two spaces. It's either B or C.
Yeah, and if we're going by the same definition as we did Iron Man, I'm fine with moving him to B tier. Because when he's like Professor Hulk, he's obviously he's not going to Hulk out because he's already Hulk, so it doesn't actually matter.
Which would be, I would hang out with Professor Hulk too. I think
exactly.
It'd be a little weird, but I kind of would like it.
I hadn't considered that for some reason, so B's good. B's good.
B is fine with me. I do like you're keeping track of your health though. That's smart. I don't know if I did that well enough. But
I did that with a couple of them on here.
All right, Captain America. That was the next one, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Cap. I like Cap. I think Cap's cool. I think Cap is fun. I think he's interesting. I was really close to putting him in S tier, but I ended up in A tier.
Okay. He was top of my B tier, if we're being fully transparent. I think certain things about having conversations with him would be fun because I like a little bit of history, but at the same time, it'd also be like talking to an old man, which there's not a whole lot of old men I like to spend a lot of time talking to because
I think
there's a generational difference.
it feels like he's pretty caught up on
He's
pop
caught up,
culture.
okay, but he's still an old man.
Yeah,
I
but
don't
then you
know.
get to talk to him about those things. You get to talk to him about new pop culture things, and he seems like he wants to hear
I
it.
mean, if we
I don't know.
continue with the actual definitions, I mean, at the end of Endgame, he literally is an 80-year-old man,
I don't want to hang out with
90-year-old
that
man.
guy.
Exactly.
I think he's interesting. I think he's fun. Well, I don't know. I'm okay putting him in B, if you feel like he belongs in the same category as Hulk. He's not
Yeah,
that much
that
better.
feels right to me.
All right. I might circle back and override it later.
Yeah, I mean, we can do
Thor.
that.
I feel
Yes, love
good
that
about
guy.
this. I feel good that we're both gonna have him very high. Just
Yes,
a
yes,
matter of
you're
how
correct.
high.
Well,
I
I put
have
him
him
in.
in S tier.
Yeah, so do I.
All right, dude.
He
Thor's
seems like
great.
the chillest guy to hang out with
He's
for
super cool.
sure. Oh
You can
god, I have
tell
so much
like
fun.
maybe in Thor 1 he would have been a little too cool for school, but now
Well,
he's
he's too
like,
Shakespeare in the Park, as they make
yeah,
fun of him in Avengers. But yeah, the like Thor: Love and Thunder, even that Thor, he's great. He's hilarious. He's
fun. He
yeah,
likes people. He's nice. He
exactly. He's
definitely wouldn't let
friendly.
me get destroyed. He would drink
It's true.
beer. He's a good time. I would
Yeah,
think
he seems
now he's
like
got a
a
kid.
chill dude. Yeah,
He'd be a
S
cool
tier for
dad.
sure.
To Saturdays over the boys would be hanging out. I think he'd have. It's a good time.
I'd even be
Thor
fine
S
with
tier.
like Fat Thor from Endgame and just like play
Yeah, there you
Rainbow
go. That's
Six
what I'm
Siege
saying.
with them instead of COD.
I think he's the easiest S tier of all the people. To be
Yeah, I
honest,
agree. I
I got a
agree with you.
couple others, but
I do.
I
I do
love
as well.
I love me some S tier. All right, so next would have been. I'm gonna lose track of the order so
Hawkeye
fast.
and Black Widow.
It's
We
gonna
need
be
to do both
ridiculous.
of
Yeah,
them. And
that's
also,
fair.
I put both Hawkeyes because technically
Yes,
they're both titular heroes. So
I do have them as titular heroes, but they both ended up in my same tier.
really,
So,
I had them in a couple different tiers. So what tier did you put them in?
so I like Jeremy Renner. I
Yeah,
think he's
he's
cool.
great.
I think he's
Heal up, bud.
interesting. He was borderline B, borderline A, but I figured I had Kate Bishop in A, so I would
Okay,
just put
I
him
also had
A
Kate
too.
Bishop in A, but I put Clint more towards C tier. Bumping him to B tier wouldn't bother me. I just when I was thinking on the what interesting things has he brought to the table recently?
Yeah, you're
Like
right. He
what is
was.
he really going to talk about? I mean, he's got like the dad thing for sure, but I think he's either working or he's with his family. He doesn't seem like the type of dude that's just like, "Hey, let's go knock back a couple drinks and watch the game." He seems like very single-minded. I need to get back to my family. I got to do this mission. Got to go back and do this thing. And he's funny enough when he's on the missions.
You're right. You're right. I mean, it reminds me. I guess I was thinking of that as like a good thing, like my buddy Gator is sort of a person, but he's probably a little more lame than that. You're right. He's
Well,
definitely not A tier.
Gator, like he goes to a bar at least once a month, sometimes more.
Yeah, no, you're right. It does seem like Clint would just.
Clint doesn't seem like the type of dude that's going to be like, yeah, we can stay on an extra 2 hours. He's like, nah, dude, I got to go like help my kids with their homework, which is good. Means he's a good dad, but he's not a good hang.
Not a good hang.
Exactly.
I agree.
C tier.
All right, I'll concede that he's C tier. And you had Kate as a
Kate
B
and A.
tier,
Kate.
though?
No, I had Kate and A. I had Kate and
Oh,
A.
okay. Yeah, I think she's fun.
We're in
She's
agreement.
funny. She's
She's
snarky.
hilarious. Yep, she's about our age, which I think helps. Maybe a little bit closer to mine since you're old as dirt.
There's like the argument to be made, like, is it better that she's like an attractive female, or is that worse because we're both married? Does that make it like less appealing to hang out with someone?
Not a single chance she would even consider it. So it's not
That's-
like it's just like nothing.
I think that makes it easier, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just
alright.
like, yeah, she might as well be hanging out with a broom. She'd have no interest in us.
Yeah, exactly. So that makes
So
it.
she'd be the
cool.
perfect hang.
Yeah, I agree. That's sort of what my thought process was. So I'm glad we're on the same page there. Black Widow. I don't actually care for Black Widow's personality as much. She
Me either.
gets
I had her in
better.
the same as Clint's. I
Yeah.
went C tier as well.
Yeah, so she gets better, I think, as time goes on. But also, I don't know. Still, she's also a little bit dangerous. I'm not. She kill someone at the bar.
Where did you
I'd
put
to-
her?
I had her in B tier, but I'm good conceding to C tier, to be honest.
C. Cool.
We'll
Let's do
concede her to C. Especially that I get some good people in B's. All right. The Ant-Man, is he the next? I don't. Doesn't matter. Whatever. We'll do Ant-Man.
Do we? Yeah, we did Hawkeye. We did Black Widow. Yeah, Ant-Man's fine. Ant-Man made his way all the way to the top of my list. I thought I put him as S tier for sure. He's hilarious. Paul Rudd's so funny. I'd love to hang out with that guy. He's a master criminal. Hanging out at Baskin Robbins. His friends are interesting. I don't know, man. I think he'd be a great hang.
I did not agree at all. I think he's funny to watch, but if you think about like how he acts around his friends, he's always sort of aloof. He's sort of like, I don't really want to be here. Um, so I think he's funny to like have as part of a group. But like, would I want to hang out with him? I don't know that I would. I had him down at B tier. So I'm like, he is funny, and like as part of a group, I would like to have him around. So I sort of weighing those two things, I put him in B.
It evens out then. A tier it is. Well, that's fine with me. I'm not gonna like argue with it. He's I like him as an S tier, but I'm fine with it being an A.
All right. That's good.
He's great.
That's where it ends up. Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange love.
He's lower than I would expect because he's one of my favorite guys in the MCU. But
I love him. I have him
as
in
far
A.
as hanging out with him, really?
I love
That's
to
so
hang.
interesting.
I think he's funny. I think he's interesting.
In
I think
more
he's like,
recent years, I think he's a little bit easier to hang out with. I would never want to hang out with the cocky doctor from the first movie.
yeah. But,
Even at the end of the first movie, he's humbled, but he's still kind of cocky. So
but I like the way he deals with magic. I think he would be the kind of person who would like show off his magic and like do funny things. And
I had him in B tier instead of
flawed.
A. So I mean, I don't feel super passionate about switching him to B. That's the way I thought of him, and I think the fact that he's one of my favorite heroes makes it feel like I was fair about it. But I'm fine with it being A tier.
Yeah, good, because he's A tier. I think you were
Cool.
being too harsh because you didn't want to come off as biased.
Yeah, favoritism, maybe.
You big dumb jerk.
But
I guess the next one was Captain America: The Winter Soldier, and Winter Soldier does have his own show.
yes, he does.
So, what do you have?
I
think
wanted to
this is an
rank
interesting
him so much higher because, again, one of my favorite Marvel guys. But then I really thought about it. I'm like, this man's very sad and has deep-set trauma. Like,
Yeah.
he wouldn't be the best hangman. He definitely isn't going to go out drinking with you.
one. I think he might.
Maybe.
We
He might
see him
go
at a
for
bar a couple times.
Man, do we though? We're like in Captain America 1.
No, we see him in his show. He goes.
Oh, you're right. He goes and plays with the old man. He plays the game with the old man. Was that a bar? I thought that was a coffee
And
shop.
it seems like
matter.
he's, but he's having a good time with Anthony Mackie. I'm gonna disagree with you already. I had him in A.
I had him
I
in
think-
C tier as well. The same as he gives me the same vibe as Black Widow and Hawkeye.
No. He's at least like a real person. I feel like he would at least like chat with you. He might. He's the kind of person who might like football. He might like things. You know what I mean?
That's true.
He would probably talk about how like football was better back in his day.
Well, we concede that he's B tier, so it's fine, and I think that's a good place for him. He's with good company in B tier.
Well, let's do his partner in crime then. His other, so I don't forget it later.
Falcon, yes.
Yeah. What do you think of Falcon or the new Captain America?
Yes, I put him in B tier. He was borderline A for me because
Good,
he's
'cause I have him in A, so
he's witty. Okay, yeah, push him in A then.
I think he's
it was
slightly
definitely
more
close
interesting than the Winter Soldier,
Yes.
and he's I think he has real conversations. I think he would have interesting conversations.
I think he'd be like one of the guys that you could like really talk to as well because he's grounded in reality in every version of his character, and it's kind of cool. I'm into it.
Yeah, I feel like he would play board games. He would hang out. He would chat. He would have enough interest to be interesting to hang out with. I thought he was an easy A tier, so I feel good about him being there.
Sure,
Okay,
A tier is good.
Let's scoot back into Phase 2. It's amazing how many of these characters are like Phase 3. I guess the whole Guardians themselves.
That was a little difficult. I put them in A tier. I think the ends justify the means a little bit. I'd love to hang out with Drax and Mantis just making jokes. Gamora's pretty serious, but she's, outweighed by Star-Lord's fun, love, and attitude. And then Rocket and Groot would just be the best to hang out with. Before we decided to rate them as a team, I had Rocket and Groot, I believe, is the top of my A tier because they're great. I'd love to hang out with those guys.
I think I would like them as a group substantially more than I would like to hang out with any of them as individuals other than Star-Lord. Who, like, Star-Lord would be great to hang out with, I think, in any context.
I love me
But, like,
some Star-Lord.
I would just... Rocket... Like, a lot of them don't understand human customs. And, like, it would be hard to hang out with, like, Rocket, who might just, like, get mad and stab me at any moment. You know what I mean?
I didn't feel that unhinged, but maybe a little.
It definitely,
He
like...
picked it up a little bit. He's less dramatic as the movies went on, but...
Groot is cute, but, like, also...
boring to
There's
talk
not, like,
to.
a definitive version of Groot, because he...
There's old man Groot,
life,
teenage
so, like,
Groot, weird, bulky, young adult Groot that we just saw in the Christmas special.
Yeah, I think, like, baby Groot and adult Groot, I think I would be cool hanging out with, but I don't know how much I'd feel about middle Groot. So, but overall, as a group, they're a ton of fun. They're fun to, like,
Right.
It would just be cool to just sit back and just watch them go nuts. Like, hey,
Exactly. You could throw something in every once in a while.
Yeah, we were out playing yard games with them. It would just be hilarious.
Right.
Drax
I feel good about A tier on them for sure.
Drax trying to play Beersby would just be like,
oh my god, he would murder us, dude. It would be great.
It would be pretty funny. So I feel good about them, but yeah, I think just a little bit of health risk, and you're right. A couple of them are boring, so they can't quite be S tier. So I feel good about the
A tier. Yep, sweet.
There.
Black Panther is a good one, yeah.
Yep, this is where we introduced Black Panther. I have 2 different Black Panthers. I rated both of them separately because.
Did you? I did not rate Shuri. I did not rate Shuri.
The titular character of their own movie. So
I know. I did. I thought long and hard. I didn't know if we wanted to include her. I suppose I could have asked, but.
So I have Chadwick Boseman's version.
T'Challa.
I have T'Challa as an A tier. I think he's a cool guy. I think he seems interesting. The conversations he has, like, he's up to date. He understands pop culture. He's not like a jerk as a prince. He's willing to listen, which most people aren't. Like, yeah, he's definitely someone I would have as like an actual friend who would.
He gets that vibe a little bit. I went B tier because he's not particularly funny. He seems like he'd be easy enough to get along with.
Yeah, but not all of my friends are funny.
Well, I guess. Yeah, I mean, the A tier is okay with me. I had him in B tier though, just because I didn't like the entertainment aspect of it. He's got regal responsibilities. You know, he can't be out. We can't just go to brunch and get drunk on mimosas. You know, Thursday brunch. It just wouldn't happen. He's busy. He's got meetings.
Yeah, but I would have been fascinated to hear about those meetings. I would love to hear about world politics and how he's running.
You wouldn't.
His company.
Oh my god, it'd be boring so fast. It'd be cool for like a couple days. Who knows?
Maybe. I guess I've never actually had conversations with a political leader before, so maybe.
Right. Yeah.
I would love to try it once, and then maybe you're.
Well,
maybe
that's fine. A tier. Where did you put Shuri? Because I think I don't know where I would put her, but I have a general idea.
I put her in S tier. I fucking love Shuri. I think Shuri is awesome.
Shuri A tier. I felt that way about her in the previous movies, but I feel like her entry in Wakanda kind of put a downer on her character just a little bit because she's sad girl.
Yeah, she is sad, but like she's sad for a good reason, like a legitimate.
I know, but like, how long is she gonna be sad? It's just like you invite your friend, like, I don't know, their dog dies. It's like, I guess it's gonna be a major bummer.
Is the argument I'm hanging out with Shuri the character, or am I hanging out with Shuri in Wakanda Forever after her brother died? Like, I look at it as like who she is as a person is a fun, interesting person who like is high energy and like
she's great and she's younger. Yeah, I mean, fine. S tier's fine with me. I didn't rate her, but yeah, S tier works.
I get to win on that one, so suck it. Let's see. I guess this is when Wanda and Vision get introduced.
I separated them.
That I did separate them as well. What do you got?
Well, Wanda was another danger one for me.
Yeah, don't like.
She went
Wanda. I don't think Wanda's interesting.
I like Wanda in a couple of iterations, but yeah, I went D tier. Not quite F, but definitely lower. Because I just felt she's too she's pretty wild, especially in Multiverse of Madness, and she had the heel turn of the century, obviously.
Yep.
Where did you put her? You put her D as well?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. You're right.
Good.
The danger, and there's not a lot of upside to it. And again, her being hot doesn't help anything at all. It's not like that's going to make it any more interesting. So, nope. But Vision, I fucking love Vision. I think Vision is maybe the freest
You
of S tiers besides
rated
Thor.
him so high, I could tell.
I
He's
love Vision.
why? I like him enough.
I like if you think about him first off in WandaVision, he's great the whole time.
Yeah,
He's like
that's true.
funny.
He's pretty great in WandaVision because he's
like,
hilarious.
He's
also
cool,
mad dead, so it's hard to.
It's hard to tell, right? But is that if you're assuming that's him, like that's his actual personality? I think that's an interesting personality to hang out with. I like him in Age of Ultron, like the way he's just like
He's okay in Age of Ultron. That's who I thought of.
And,
I thought of that Vision. I was like, yeah, it's like C tier. I'd hang out with him, but like I don't think I'd have a good time for long.
Did you think about him from like Infinity War? Because like I like him in his like sweater vest and just chilling around.
Just kind of hanging around the mansion. No,
I like that version. I like that.
It's okay. Yeah, I don't know. I felt pretty C tier about him, but I don't know where'd you put him.
I had him in S tier, so I think.
Oh my lord!
People to hang out with. I would love to hang out with Vision.
That's insane.
Plus, he's a robot.
He is a robot. I guess you got.
And he gets drunk by just like eating gum. That's hilarious.
That part's funny.
Yes, I like.
He's good in WandaVision. I don't know, man. I can't go all the way to S tier. I can't do it.
Well, no shit.
Won't matter anyway. So A or B.
We'll put him in B for now. I think he is just a robot. I don't know. It's hard to tell if his WandaVision self is like his real self.
Right, because it's just kind of a reanimated corpse in that show.
That would be weird to hang out with a corpse. It's not something I do
less fun to hang out with, that's for sure.
All right, I think we're ready to move on to. Really, there's not a lot. Most Phase 3 was just remakes. Spider-Man.
Wasp.
Spider-Man and Wasp. Yep, you're right. Let's do Wasp and then we'll do
Okay, yeah, F tier. She sucks.
She's super boring. She's kind of lame.
She's so boring. I don't particularly care for the actress either. I don't know anything about her. I just nothing, not a single thing about her. I was like, yeah, that'd be fun to talk to you about. She's like she's like a woman that's like 10 years older than me. And like, what could I possibly have to talk to a almost 40-year-old woman? I don't talk to women that age. I got no reason to. And it's not like we could talk about generational things. Like, I don't know, we grew up in different time periods. I can't imagine we have similar interests. Nothing in the movies really portrayed her being particularly funny or interesting. She's just kind of like there. And honestly, she's kind of like a Pris in the first one. She gets a little better in the second one, but she kind of just sucks.
All right. I mean, I didn't have her all the way in F. I had her in D. Just because I don't think.
Do you have anyone in your F tier then? Like, I don't. There's only. Yeah. I have one other F tier. I have one other person in F tier.
I have 2 F tiers.
Okay. Well, I think we should space it out and just tank her, and she's an F. That's my opinion. But if you really want to like argue about it, we can. But.
Well, I just think so. My F tier is number 1. It's 2 things that are like legitimately dangerous to my health in Loki and the Eternals. There's no way I'm hanging out with Loki. Loki might actually just murder me for no reason.
I considered Loki and being Loki though, like from the show, which seems way better. I put him in C tier. I like him once he has the babyface turn. You keep using wrestling terms. Deal with it.
Yeah, I mean, everyone who doesn't love a good wrestling term. I just think if I get lucky and I'm hanging out with the newest Loki, then maybe it's a little
But
better.
That's kind of what we're saying. I mean, the most recent iteration of Loki is someone I would definitely hang out with. And, like, if you're friends with him, his pranks would be legendary.
I still don't know that I would trust him not to set me on fire.
I even like him in Ragnarok. I don't know, man. I mean, we're 2 tiers apart, so he gets D tier automatically, which is fine. I think I'd have a good time hanging out with him.
Yeah, I'm trying not to get murdered. Anyone who has any chance of betraying me and turning into a villain.
Well, I got a better one that would definitely murder us then, and that's Jake from Werewolf by Night.
Yeah, he's kind of boring anyway.
I put him like almost to F. I put him in D, but I am fine booting him to F, honestly.
I had him in D too, just because I don't know what triggers his werewolf thing.
There's like a tinge of maybe there's some interest there.
Yeah, just don't hang out with them at Moonlight. You'd be okay, but still not that interesting. The girl seemed more interesting. Maybe she's like a C or B, but no. The Eternals are my other F for the record.
I put them in D because they have a couple that bring them back.
No,
Like Kinko.
No.
Oh my God, Kumail's character is fantastic.
Yeah, he's great. But I have to hang out with all 10. So whatever group activity there is where I'm hanging out with all 10 of them sounds awful.
But you can chill with like Druig, who is hilarious, and like Kingo is fun. And Gilgamesh, he had a couple funny lines at the end, and I like Fastos. He seems like an interesting guy.
Whatever.
Sprite would be hilarious.
Sprite would get jealous and again murder me.
Of who? What is she gonna get jealous of?
No, she's a child.
She's attracted to Richard Madden's Icarus, and I can't blame her. The man's handsome. I don't have anything to worry about there.
The most interesting person is Death, so that's a hard whatever.
Mercury, she's great too. No, D tier. It's D tier for me.
D's fine. Here's one that I'm interested in to know. Where did you rank Moon Knight?
I wanted to break it into the different Jakes, but I didn't.
But you can't. I thought about it. I was like, well, that's hard.
Do it. I put him in B tier because the wimpy kind of annoying one that he is at the beginning of the show. I'm like, yeah, he's all right. He's probably around a B. What is it? The super. No. Where did you put him?
I put him in C, and I thought about a D tier, but then I just I had a rough D tier.
I liked him. I like him in B, but he's got multiple personalities. I like him by the end of the show. He kind of has an understanding of who he is between the two personalities at the very least.
Yeah, and then he gets a third personality.
That part's a wild card. I'll give you that.
He's an absolute wild card.
He's a murderer, in fairness.
First off, this guy gets...
I guess if you're hanging out with a guy with multiple personalities, you don't want any of the personalities to be serial killers, so...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Plus, and like you said, the first one is kind of a wimpy. He's not that interesting. Not worth the risk for me.
All right, C tier's fine.
That's hard C tier. No, I feel good about that. Yeah, not gonna hang out with him.
Okay, we got Spider-Man, Captain Marvel, and the Phase 5 guys or 4 guys.
Phase 5s. Yep. Peter's an S tier. I think he's great. I think this version of Peter's great. He's funny. He's cool. He's interesting. He would...
had him in A tier, but the more I think about it, I'm like, yeah. I mean, he's literally. I mean, the actor is literally the closest to think out of any of the other actors to my age. So I feel like I get along with the guy. He's smart. He's funny. He's got quips. Yeah. I'll give him S tier. I like Spider-Man.
I mean, he's probably a little, too up to date on the hip culture.
Well, yeah, he's got a TikTok, but that's okay. It's like I understand what TikTok is. I just don't have one.
I think, yeah. I mean, I've hung out, yeah. So I feel good about him as an S tier. I think he's really funny.
Okay, S tier, good.
Captain Marvel, I got a feeling you rated her way lower than you should have, but...
Oh my God, yeah, she's one of my F tiers. There's nothing about her that I find remotely interesting.
That's so fascinating.
It's another person in like that same age range as Wasp. From just like, what am I gonna talk to you about, really?
I had her in B tier.
She was an adult when I was born. Like nothing.
Is she that old? I guess you're right.
Because Captain Marvel takes place in the 90s, which I was there.
You're right.
Born halfway through it.
I thought of her. I'm thinking of her as like a, early 30s.
How old Brie Larson is, which would, make a little bit more sense. If she was actually Brie Larson's age, then yeah, I'd probably rate her a little higher. But if you really are passionate about moving her into D tier, that's fine.
D tier, yeah.
Okay, D's fine.
You're right. I do like that Hope is the only one in F tier because she sucks.
She's so annoying.
She's super dumb and just a jerk to everybody. All right. And we had one more, right?
Got Wanda, we got Hulk. We got Shang-Chi and She-Hulk. Those are the last two, I believe.
Shang-Chi I thought was an easy S tier. He's awesome, dude. He's like a good friend.
I think I was a little too stingy on my S tiers, is what it is. I put him in A tier, but you're right.
I'm usually very stingy on my S. I've got what? 4?
You got a pretty lengthy S tier, my friend, and that's fine. Yeah, Shang-Chi, he's great. He was one of the best movies that come out in the last 5 years. That's without a doubt. And in another one where he's playing a character that's, I think, the same age as me or a year younger. So
yeah, totally
on board
normal
for that.
Guy. Like would do karaoke, would drink, would have fun, would party. He would come and
he literally seems like someone that would fit in our group pretty good. Like honestly, if we had Simu Leo, shout out to you if you listen to this podcast. Feel free to hit us up.
Yeah, absolutely. Totally
we'll be happy to hang out.
I think besides Thor, I thought he was the easiest of the S tiers.
He's a great S tier. That's fine. I do not have any argument to the contrary.
All right, then I feel good about that. Miss Marvel.
Oh yeah, we skipped her. I put her in B tier. I think it's because she's a little bit younger. She reminds me of like Dominica. My wife has some younger cousins, and they're about like the age that Ms. Marvel's playing. I'm like, I like it's fun, like seems like we'd have some similar interests. She'd be fun to hang out with, but at the end of the day, she's like a 15-year-old girl. Like how many interesting conversations can I have with her?
Yeah,
Not
I agree.
that many.
I think if I was still working at camp and I was like, I was still a camp counselor, then maybe she'd be more like an A tier, because she's an interesting kid, and interesting kids were interesting back then. But B tier, I think, is exactly.
I think it's
right.
fair. I mean, there's nothing wrong with her personality, just an age difference.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I can't. I don't know about.
I can't put
boys.
a 15-year-old. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
So I feel good about. If that B tier sounds good. So then we got She-Hulk. This was a tough one for me.
I put her S tier. I had no doubts in my mind. Watching her show, I was like, oh yeah, this is a fun time. She's a fun chick. I'm on board for this. She-Hulk, come hang out.
I did put her in S tier. My only hesitation was like when she's in Hulk form, she's not. She just seems a little different. Not quite the same. I would put She-Hulk herself in A tier. But yeah, as a human, S tier. She's awesome. She's like
great. Yeah, she's wonderful.
The
She's
most
very funny.
real person to hang out with ever. So.
Yeah, I love how sarcastic she is. I love her relationship with Bruce. It's just very funny to watch. The fact that like she's like, "Hey, Daredevil's hot. I'm into it. Why not?" We're both adults here. I'm like, "Hey, that's cool. She's a fun chick. I'm on board. Let's go, She-Hulk." Now that your show wasn't that great, but you as a person, S tier.
Let's do Daredevil real quick. He technically has a show of his own, but
I didn't rate him. I did think about rating him.
Well, rate him right now.
I'd go A tier.
Okay,
he's a little bit older. He's a lawyer, so he's smarter than me. But the fact that they all go to Rosie's diner and just kind of like play pool and drink and hang out with Foggy and Karen.
Yeah,
he seems cool. He seems like a fun hang. I give him A tier.
Be nice to everybody who came by. Yeah, I feel good about it. I put him in A as well. We got a lot of A tiers.
Yes.
Most of our characters end up in A. I'm going to use my override to move Captain America up into A. I just love that guy. He's a good dude. As long as I'm not hanging out with the 80-year-old man version of him.
Right, fair.
So, I feel good about that. I'll go through the list.
Where did Hawkeye end up? He stayed.
We moved him up to B, but you can put him back down to C if you want.
Yeah, I'll use my. I don't. Well, let's read through the list. If there's any other ones I feel like I want to override, I will. But that's probably going to be the one.
So our S tier, we got Thor, Spider-Man, Shang-Chi, and She-Hulk.
Definitely.
Feel really good about that.
Me too.
And we had Letitia Wright's
Black
Panther on the border here. She ended an S, but we can definitely move her to A because I do feel like.
I feel like she's an outlier when you go on that list. I think she's great, but she's not in that same vein. A tier.
So here's our A tier, which is an enormous tier.
Yes, it is.
We got both Black Panthers.
That speaks to how great like Marvel is at writing characters. Well, not even just the movie, the screenwriters, also the comic book writers, and shout out to those guys.
We got both Black Panthers. We've got Captain America, the Winter Soldier, and the new Captain America / Falcon, all making their appearance in here. We've got Iron Man. We've got Ant-Man. We've got Kate Bishop's Hawkeye. We've got Daredevil. We've got the Guardians as a team. And yeah, that's our A tier.
I feel good about that. That sounded nice.
I do too. And the B tier is Hulk, Miss Marvel, and Vision. And so C was where Wanda ended up, right? Or did she end up in D tier?
She was D tier, yes.
D tier. So C is just Moon Knight and Black Widow. Which I think makes sense. Black Widow is at least slightly more interesting than the other.
Yeah, I'll use an override then. I think Clint and Black Widow they should end up in the same tier. So
okay.
Hawkeye is C tier.
Hawkeye C tier. So D tier we've got a couple dangerous people, at least in my opinion, in Loki and Werewolf.
Mhm.
I like Captain Marvel a little more than you do, so I'm glad she's in D tier. The entire Eternals team, I just feel like if I had
I
a
made a
second,
good argument.
I'm more passionate about Captain America being an A than I am about them being an F, but I still feel it. And then Hope from as in the Wasp is an easy F tier. She's lame. No one likes her.
I really hope that her character turns it around in the next one, but I got a feeling she's not going to.
It doesn't look like it. It doesn't look
No,
like
she
it at
looks
all.
like she's playing more of the same. Out of like characters that evolve within the MCU, like she is making no steps towards something resembling what I like in my characters. She got the suit in the second one that did, and somehow that didn't help make her interesting.
Help nothing. Other titular characters that I suppose we could have listed. I didn't rank, but we could have. I thought about Ultron. He is in the name of
Age of Ultron.
Avengers,
Yeah,
but that's an easy F tier for me. I think.
yeah.
Obviously, he's a
he's
killer
no.
robot who wants to kill all of humanity. So
James Spader though, A tier. That guy's hilarious.
he's great. But when I'm still gonna feel good about him being at the bottom. I don't think any other of the names have like the villain's name in it, does it? No. So
I believe so.
Ultron,
Where did Loki end up? Did we make a decision on that?
In D tier. You had him.
I had him in C. You had him
I haven't
in
seen him in that, but I have him in
F. Okay, and then he moved down to D. That makes sense.
Yep.
All right, well, fair enough. I think it's a pretty good list. What did you guys think? What did our listeners think? You know, who are you really passionate about being moved on tiers? We really want to know. We get some engagement out of these, which is always a great time. Feel free to leave a comment on the YouTube channel, and we'll check those later.
Yep,
Join the Facebook group. We'll see it there for sure.
Picture. I'm trying to find so right now I have it like as sorted out by like just the movies themselves and the shows. So it's sort of hard to really know for sure who I'm talking about.
That's fair.
I'll see if I can find a way to like actually have pictures of the characters instead of just the movies. But I'll try to post it. He said, "You guys let us know." And it's a hard argument because like, what is Hangout? Like, is it?
Well, also like you and I hang out because we have similar personalities and stuff and known each other forever. Like some people definitely wouldn't want to hang out with us, which means that they would rank people completely differently. Or completely different.
Yeah, but I think everybody's gonna have Thor in S tier.
Thor's S tier with no matter who you ask.
Who's gonna be like, I don't want to hang out with Thor? Noah has his own tier of S plus for She-Hulk, which is good for him.
Did he say something about it?
No. I just know that he would have his own tier, just so we could shoot a shot. It's like I'll be the only one. You got
Shout
no
out
shot.
Noah.
Love that guy. Check him out.
Oh yeah, we're jumping on Gotham City Rogues right after this. If you want to catch us live over there, we're gonna do a fan cast of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. We switched that podcast to once a month, so it's a lot less often. So if you guys want to just have a little extra, little fifth episode of some Josh action, then feel free to jump over there.
Everyone does like Josh. He is the second coolest person on the Marvel Stuff podcast, which is
hey, hell yeah. Ray doesn't come nearly enough though for being in first all the time.
I'm cool. All right, people love me. Ask the audience. Not that anyone has ever.
All right, I want to poll. No, I'm kidding.
Next time you guys drop a 5-star review, make sure to tell us it's because Colin is.
Well, I will shout out the pizza guy who left us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and said W because Coach plays Siege. So I was into that. That was funny.
I love Siege.
I also play Siege. Not nearly as much as Coach, though.
Siege is good. Speaking of things I'm playing, Marvel Midnight Suns. I did post this in the Facebook group.
Extra credits, yes.
I love it. I love Marvel
I'm jealous
Midnight
that
Suns.
you did. I'm upset with you because you didn't play it fast enough for me to get it while it was on sale, and there's no way I'm paying full price for it.
I had to beat Horizon. You should pay full price. It's so good.
I won't do it. Oh, did you find out if you can buy the skins individually, or do you have to buy the passes?
You have to buy like packs of them, but there are skins. You unlock skins throughout the game. That's what I'll tell you. There's a lot of really cool skins that you unlock just by playing the game.
I know, but there's two DLC Wolverine ones that I want, and I don't want to buy all the DLC unless it's on sale.
That's true. You can't do that. But you can buy some very cool ones in-game anyway that you'll like. There's like a lot.
Oh, for anyone that's interested, since we're on the topic of video games and Marvel's Avengers is officially like closing its doors. It's no longer going to be updating. They're actually delisting it from the store come the end of March, apparently. I think it's because they just don't want to keep people involved there, and then there's a customer service thing. So you get your stuff there. I also heard, I cannot confirm, but March 31st, from what I heard, they're going to be releasing all the DLC skins and stuff just for free because they're going to delist it from the store.
Yeah.
So all of the stuff that people have been waiting on, because those things are expensive. I played the Marvel games. It's like $15 per skin, and for like a premium skin from the MCU. So if you guys want to just wait it out and then get all the cool MCU skins, go do that. March 31st.
This Midnight Suns is everything that Marvel Avengers game
should have been.
Like the actual gameplay is like different, but it's super fun. But like the going through the story, and there's like so many interesting things. Like I joined a book club with a couple characters. I don't want to spoil anything, but like there's a book club, there's a shop class, there's like so many interesting.
Yeah, I heard
ways.
You can develop relationships with like individual characters. Yeah, I'm really excited to play it. I didn't know for sure, and no one told me in time, so I guess I'm just waiting. But I am pretty busy. My extra credits, I'm still playing through Witcher 3. Man, that game is long. I finally got Ciri back though, and I won the Battle of Kaer Morhen.
There we go. It is a long game.
No, I'm out here balling. Obviously, we talked about The Last of Us, so definitely go watch that if you haven't yet, because it's fantastic. Big fan of that.
Great show.
Peripheral is a show starring Chloe Grace Moretz on Amazon Prime. Me and my wife are watching that. It started out pretty great. The later episodes, it starts to drag a little bit, but overall, it's a cool concept.
I'm watching that 90s show. That's pretty funny.
Ooh, I watched all of that 90s show. Definitely watched that. We watched that like the day after it came out, or the part of it on the day of.
See, I gotta savor it. One episode a day.
No. That's why it's on Netflix. You just watch it all at once.
Can't be about
it's only 24-minute episodes, Coach. I had to do it.
Gotta savor it. All right, well, this was fun. Thanks for hanging out, guys. Make sure to leave some good reviews, likes, share, spread it around. Like we said, we're glad to see our views are going back up. Hopefully you guys are enjoying it. And
appreciate you guys. If you guys got any ideas, I mean, obviously we're an open book. We're willing to try some new stuff out. If you got fun things that other podcasts that you like do, I mean, we could do a version of it. We don't want to copy them exactly.
We're not nearly as funny, but that's okay. We could do a less good version of anything, really.
Right, exactly. We could do like the wish.com version of any of your favorite stuff.
Absolutely.
That's really where it comes down to.
We're not too proud to sell out, that's for sure. We appreciate you guys hanging out. Thanks so much, and just trying not to have too much fun without us.